Title: The Price of Fortune. My story begins in the heart of Seoul, in a neighborhood drowned in shadows. I was born and raised in one of the many cramped and dilapidated buildings that dotted the landscape of the city's underbelly. The pungent scent of street food mingled with the pollution that hung like a thick fog, a constant reminder of the struggles that swallowed my everyday life. Growing up, I always dreamed of a better life, a chance to escape the relentless cycle of poverty. My parents worked long hours in a nearby textile factory, and their sacrifices were the only source of hope that fueled my aspirations. I immersed myself in books, seeking knowledge and solace from the harsh realities outside. But as I reached adulthood, I felt the weight of my environment pressing down on me, suffocating my dreams. One fateful evening, while wandering through the bustling streets close to my home, I stumbled upon a small convenience store. There was something magnetic about the lottery tickets behind the counter. I picked up a ticket on a whim, convinced it was just another act of frivolity. I can still vividly remember the moment I scratched that ticket, revealing the numbers that would change my life forever. When I realized I had won $1,000,001, it felt surreal. I was ecstatic, a mix of disbelief and joy washing over me. At that moment, it seemed like the universe had finally smiled upon me. I wanted to shout it from the rooftops, to share the news with my friends who had always believed I would escape this life. But the euphoria quickly dissipated when the reality of my new fortune sank in. I was suddenly inundated with attention from everyone around me, neighbors I had barely spoken to, distant relatives who had long been absent from my life. I was overwhelmed. My modest home filled with people eager to share in my success, each with their own motives. It felt as though the floodgates had opened, and I was swept away in a tide of demands and expectations. With the money in my pocket, I made the naive decision to help those who had always been there for me. I paid for my parents' medical bills, renovated our home, and treated my friends to lavish nights out. But each act of kindness birthed an expectation, and soon, those I had helped began to see me not as their benefactor, but as a source of endless wealth. It was a gradual transformation. My friends' laughter became tinged with envy, and whispers of my fortune began to circulate in our tight-knit community. I found myself entrapped in a spider's web of jealousy and greed. The friends I once cherished began to distance themselves when I no longer handed them cash. I could sense their growing resentment even as I tried to offer them support. In an unfortunate twist of fate, I discovered that someone I considered a close friend had betrayed me, leaking my financial information to a local gang. They showed up one evening, faces obscured by shadows, and demanded money in exchange for protection. I had unwittingly painted a target on my back with the kindness I had extended. Frightened, I felt the weight of my fortune turn into a curse. My life, once filled with dreams, quickly became a nightmare. I started to receive